After years of consideration, Space Jam: A New Legacy has finally been released. This one is more of a standalone sequel to the 1996 film Space Jam starring Michael Jordan, but this time LeBron James takes Jordan's place. And in the film, why am I saying Jordan? James and his youngest son Dom, who dreams of becoming a video game developer rather than follow his father's footsteps in basketball, find themselves trapped in the One of 300 serververse, a virtual space ruled by AI named AIG Rhythm, played by Don Cheadle. After Dom is captured, LeBron has to team up with the Looney Tunes to help him fight in an epic basketball game against AIG and his super powerful goon squad. Plans for a sequel to Space Jam have been in development since the release of the very first one. Michael Jordan wasn't interested in doing another one, so the studio looked at several other ideas similar to Space Jam. However, they ended up making Back in Action, which obviously disappointed at the box office, despite people respecting it more than Space Jam. But now we've got a Space Jam sequel with LeBron James. So how is it? Well, this movie is pretty controversial. Not Joker controversial, but there's some people who hate it, some people who like it. So going into this one, I had the mindset expecting a fun yet dumb basketball movie, and that is what I got. I had a really fun time with Space Jam: A New Legacy. I think it's one of the better family movies we've gotten in recent years, and unlike Fast and Furious 9, this one did meet to my expectations, so let's talk about it. First off, I want to talk about the animation and visual effects. By the way, they are very stunning. I like how they've shown how CGI has evolved over the last 25 years. And yes, even though it's not as unique as the 2D animation combined with live action that was in the first one, it was easy to accept because there is some enjoyable basketball sequences with this CGI. And the movie was very fast-paced, expertly choreographed, and it also had some really funny moments. As a whole, Space Jam: A New Legacy has really better pacing and more interesting ideas and plot points going throughout the film. I like the idea of a father who wants his son to follow in his footsteps, but his son has his own intentions. It's a deeper theme that the first one never really went into, and this makes the movie a bit heartwarming and kind of emotional at sometimes. As for LeBron James, is he better than Jordan? Well, kind of. I think he does surpass Jordan's performance in the first one because, spoilers ahead, there is a scene at the beginning where we see a young LeBron James being lectured by his basketball coach, played by Wood Harris, giving him a speech about concentration. James later takes on that speech and uses that to help his kids be better in life. It shows what type of person he is. I like how he's a father who wants the best for his kids, and I think that James was great in the movie. Don Cheadle was also pretty decent. I like how he manipulates James' son Dom into thinking his father is a bore, and he does come off as a much more stronger and funnier villain compared to the villains in the first Space Jam. Plus, his squad looks so much cooler than the squad in the first one. I also really like how they're played by real people combined with CGI. I think it's much more smart and unique compared to what the first one did. I also think this movie has a killer soundtrack. There were some songs in the movie, especially towards the end credits, that I was always jamming to as I was on my computer. I actually saw this movie through a screen link on my computer. As for issues with the movie, my one major complaint with it is mainly the Warner Bros. IP, but it didn't really bother me that much because it was only like a few times I saw it. But my main complaint is that this one is a bit too similar to the original Space Jam. It didn't bother me that much. I mean, it does improve on some things that the first one failed at. I do think that the opening sequence with James's life was really interesting. I think it's much more better than the montage from the first film. As I said earlier, the soundtrack is slightly better than the one in the first film. I also do like how it has better pacing. In fact, I do think this movie is quite superior to the first, despite being too similar. I think it's an entertaining, heartwarming, funny basketball game that is a great way to honor Michael Jordan's original classic from 1996. If you're a Looney Tunes fan, if you are a Space Jam fan, I would recommend seeing this film. I'm going to give Space Jam: A New Legacy a 9 out of 10. I do plan on seeing it again. I think it's one of the most entertaining movies of the year. I've seen a lot of new releases in 2021 and I felt like turning them off each time. However, Space Jam: A New Legacy, I sat through it. Yeah, I skipped through it a few times, but it was only to go back and see the good parts. Personally, I think that Space Jam: A New Legacy is the most entertaining movie of this year. I can't wait for you guys to tell me what you thought about it. In fact, when you do see Space Jam: A New Legacy, let me know what you thought about it, or let me know what you thought about the original Space Jam. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch all of you next time in another video. Peace.